They thought I wouldn't notice, that breaking into my backyard while I was at work wouldn't matter, but they were wrong. I had cameras, I had time, and I had the law on my side. What started as a minor landscaping dispute turned into a full-blown trespassing case, and when we walked into that courtroom, the HOA looked confident for the first 10 seconds. After that, they realized they weren't ready. This is the story of how I turned their arrogance into their biggest legal regret. I live in a quiet neighborhood with a homeowners association. Like many HOAs, they exist mostly to collect fees, issue letters, and pretend they're the government. My home sits on a corner lot, and the backyard fence borders a common area. Nothing controversial, until I replaced the old wooden fence with a modern vinyl one. It was the same height, same placement, just better looking and lower maintenance. But apparently the HOA didn't like that I didn't ask for permission, even though by the bylaws I didn't need to. A week after the fence went up, I got a letter. Violation of aesthetic uniformity. Fence subject to immediate review. I replied, pointing to the section of the HOA rules that confirmed fencing on owned property is the homeowner's responsibility. They didn't reply. Instead, they acted. One afternoon, I checked my security cameras. Around 2:13 p.m., 2 men in polo shirts walked into my backyard. No knock, no call. They opened the side gate, which was latched shut, and began walking the perimeter, measuring my fence with a tape. One took photos. They stayed for 15 minutes, then left. My gate had been damaged in the process. I was livid. I called the HOA and demanded an explanation. Their reply? It's common property bordering your yard. We had the right to inspect. I asked where in the bylaws it allowed entering private fenced property without notice. They couldn't answer, so I filed a police report. And then I called a lawyer. My lawyer reviewed the footage, fence documentation, and HOA letters. His words were simple. This is a clear case of trespass and property damage. Let's take them to court. We filed a civil suit for trespassing, property damage, emotional distress due to illegal surveillance and intimidation. I sent the HOA official notice. Still, they didn't back down, so we went to trial. It was a small courtroom, no jury, just a judge. The HOA brought their president and a lawyer who looked like he expected this to be a 10-minute joke. I brought my lawyer, time-stamped security footage, photos of the damage, a printed copy of HOA bylaws, highlighted in yellow. The judge listened carefully. Then I played the footage. Silence in the room. The judge looked at the HOA's attorney and said, "Do you deny your client entered this private property without consent?" "We were inspecting." "That's not what I asked." And just like that, the tide turned. The court ruled in my favor. The HOA was ordered to pay for the gate damage issue, a written apology, cover my legal fees, and best of all, the judge added this to the ruling: no HOA representative may enter this property again without written consent, or they will face criminal trespass charges. It was official. My backyard off limits, permanently. Since then, the HOA hasn't spoken a word to me. I still live here. The fence is still up, untouched, and I still have the video, just in case they try again. I heard later that the 2 board members involved stepped down. Guess they weren't ready. For a resident who actually read the rule book, here's what I learned. Never assume someone won't fight back, especially when they're quiet. Know your rights, know your documents, and don't let power-hungry boards bully you into submission. HOAs exist to protect communities, not control them. And if they forget that, remind them in court. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share if you've ever dealt with an HOA that went too far. Because fences don't just protect property, they protect peace.